Hello, today is 6/5 of 24, and I am bringing you another video of what I eat in a day on my keto journey. So, I've already eaten. I had half a pickle, kind of first thing this morning. I had some errands to run and some things to do, and I just wanted to make sure that I was getting some electrolytes, really. I wanted the salt in my system so I could do those things. So, I just ate half of a pickle. And then it is about 12 o'clock, so about 11:30, I ate my lunch. So what I had was another factor meal, and I had the herb crusted chicken with mashed cauliflower and toasted almond green beans. So, my review of that is that it was okay. I would order it again. Like if I'm like, oh, I know I'm going to want some quick meals, that'll be one that I order. It had okay flavor, just not a lot of flavor to it. The mashed cauliflower definitely tasted like cooked vegetables, which I don't like. But if I mixed it with the chicken and the green beans, then it was okay. Like it kind of covered up that flavor enough. If it was just with the chicken, it really didn't cover it enough. I felt like I wanted it to have more, maybe more garlic for sure, like maybe some more Parmesan. I don't know if there's Parmesan in it. I could check, but I wanted more flavor to it. But it was okay. So I would rate it like 2.5 out of 5. Hello again. It is about 3 o'clock, and I am ready for my second meal of the day. I plan to make a Korean beef dish that I made pre-keto, and I'm just going to make it keto. So the one change that, well, there's actually two changes that I'll have to make. So one is in the ingredients is brown sugar. So I will be using swerve brown sugar for that. The rest of the ingredients are just fine on keto. And then my rice. So I've got in my sink, it's just draining konjac rice. So that's what I'm going to use in place of the white rice, the jasmine rice that I would traditionally have with this meal. But it should be just those two changes, and I hope that it turns out delicious. I have a large skillet. I am going to add to this pan a pound of ground beef. This is going to make 4 servings. I'll get that added to my pan. And then I need 3 cloves of garlic. So I'm actually just going to use pre-minced garlic, which means that I am using 1.5 teaspoons of garlic because half a teaspoon equals 1 clove of garlic. So that's why I need 1.5 teaspoons total. And then we're going to be, or I'm going to be, sorry, adding a sauce to this, some liquid ingredients to kind of create a nice sauce for it. However, I don't believe in cooking any meat without seasoning in it. So I've got some garlic, and that's great. I am going to add just a bit of salt, like maybe a quarter teaspoon, just to make sure that the flavor of that meat is coming out as it is cooking. All right, so I'm just going to let this cook, and I'm going to crumble it as it's cooking until it's cooked most of the way through. Some pink is going to be fine, but I don't want a lot of pink. Okay, so then I'm going to get the sauce together. So I need a quarter cup of soy sauce. So I'm going to pour right up to my quarter cup line. And then I need 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. I need a 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger. And a 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. And a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Cooking. I'm crumble this some more. It's obviously cooking. And then I need my brown sugar swerve. And I'm going to pack that in just like I would if it were traditional brown sugar. And then level it off. And I'll just use a whisk to whisk these together. Those flavors smell so good together. All right, and then the other thing I'm going to do while this is cooking is I'm going to prepare my toppings that I want with this dish. I want to have some cucumber and chopped peanuts and green onions on top of mine. So I'm going to start with my green onions and just cut them into slices. I do really like green onion, like the freshness that it adds to lots of dishes. I do eat it often. I got some really big green onions at my farmer's market, so that's what I'm using. And they're just really big. They take a lot to chop. All right, we'll call that good. And then, like I said, I also want some crushed peanuts. And these can be high in carbs, so I do want to be measuring these out. I want to use a 1/4 cup. I'm going to measure out a 1/4 cup and get those in my bag, and then I will crush them after I do some more work with my meat. and there's still some pink left in here, but it is cooked most of the way through, like I would say 80%. So I am going to go ahead and add my sauce to my pan. And I want to make sure that I'm getting all of that out of there. And the other thing I want to add, which this I don't usually have in this dish, but since I need to kind of bump up my fiber, I'm going to go ahead and add some chia seeds to it. So this is 1 pound of beef. Those are not chia seeds, those are flax seeds, not what I want. It is 1 pound of beef, and I usually will use 2 tablespoons for a pound of beef. Okay. So there's 1 and 2. And I'll get those mixed in. And really now we're just waiting for that meat to get cooked all the way through and for the sauce to thicken up a bit and kind of absorb into that meat. All right, so I'm going to keep working on my toppings. Okay, and then I want some cucumber. I think I probably want about that much. And I'll just cut it into some slices and then I will get it diced up. It smells good. I love the smell of fresh cut cucumber. All right, I am just going to wait until, like I said, this meat gets cooked through and my sauce will get thickened up a bit. And then I wouldn't normally do this with this recipe, but because I'm making it keto and I'm using the konjac noodles, I am going to actually remove this from my pan, and then I'm going to heat up my konjac noodles in this pan because like you want to warm them up, right? But I don't want to just add them to this pan because my family is going to use jasmine rice instead of konjac rice. So that's why I need to kind of like warm it up, and adding it to this pan rather than say like just using a different pan will cause me to get some flavor added to that rice. Okay, so this looks good. I'm going to get it out of this pan. Try not to make too much of a mess. Okay, I think I want my heat on probably like a 2. I don't want it to be too hot. And then I'll get my rice in there. Kind of spread it around. Maybe I'll turn it up to a 4, to about a medium. If it gets a little toasted, I think that can be okay. And while I'm kind of waiting for that, I will put my meat mixture in my microwave. So this is just a way to kind of keep it warm. I'm not going to turn on my microwave. I am just kind of giving it a small space to be in so it doesn't lose too much heat. Kind of like if you were to cover it to keep it warm, but then I don't have to like waste anything or get anything dirty to do that. I can just stick it in my microwave and I will just let this get warmed up and then dish myself some up. Got my rice. I'm going to get about a quarter of this beef and make sure I get some of that sauce too. And then add my toppings. I don't know that I'm going to use all of this cucumber. I used about half of it and just a handful of my onion because that was a lot of onion. I'm going to give this a try. I remember what this tasted like pre-keto, so. It's good. I'm going to try just the meat. Yeah. It tastes very similar to what I'm used to having from this dish. I used low sodium soy sauce, and I think that's a problem. I think I should have used regular soy sauce. It was just kind of what I had on hand. And I feel like I want just a little more sweetness, but it's okay. Like I think next time I make it, I will be sure to use soy sauce that isn't reduced sodium and maybe add just like a tablespoon more of the brown sugar swerve. But the flavors are there, right? Like it tastes like I remember it tasting, just not quite as powerful. So that's why I think those couple of changes and it would be great. So let's take a look at how my day turned out. I have a total of 1,400 calories, which is a bit higher than what I normally have. But again, I am not worried about it. I am not at the point where I'm going to be gaining weight because of what I'm eating. I know that I ate more just because I needed more from having gone skating. So it is just fine that I'm at 1,400. My fiber is 20, so that's also great. My net carbs is 17.73, also not a problem. My sodium is about where I want it to be, right in that 4,000 range. So I am good to go there. And my macros look pretty good. My protein's at 32%. Again, I'm still trying to get it higher, but I'm okay with it at 32%. I haven't quite figured it all out yet, and that's okay. So that was my day today, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow.